Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the Frontline Changes report again. So the second Frontline Changes report in 24 hours, and so this is for the past 12 hours. So since the last Frontline Changes, there's more Frontline Changes, and these are also super significant. So we're gonna jump straight into it. So commanders, do of course press the like button and subscribe. And of course, for those that have not joined, the new commanders, do subscribe. And for those commanders that are already subscribed, do check, because we have already a lot of reports telling me that they have been unsubscribed. So over at the Kupyansk front, this is Kupyansk, and over in the west of Ulyansky, over in the Timkovka region. So this is Timkovka. And so in this area here, based on Ukrainian mapping, Russian forces have progressed, advanced in this sector of the Kupyansk front. And this is super significant because we actually have not seen any frontline changes in the Kupyansk front since a long time. So this is a massive one, particularly in this sector, in the Ulyansky sector. This is a very heavily entrenched Ukrainian position. Any progress in this sector is very unusual. So the Russians have made some advance in this sector, particularly this is reported by the Ukrainians. So it's definitely, something that have happened to the Ukrainians over here. So pretty significant. The advance is probably around 1 kilometer deep across the front line around here. So we'll continue to monitor and see whether this is a continuation or will this continue, or is this just a mapping correction that they have just decided to release. So that's all from the Kupyansk front. Pretty significant. We haven't seen much reports about fighting in this region. We do have at Zaporizhzhia on the 24th, which is 4 days ago. So if it is, then it's probably from 4 days ago. So after the frontline changes at Timkovka, the next frontline change is over at Novolubivka. So in this sector, the entire front line has collapsed. Over in this sector, we have just reported the frontline change for this area here. This was what we reported just 12 hours ago. Our frontline have evolved since. The Ukrainian mapping have mapped that the Russian forces have poked its fingers all the way into Katerynivka. So this is a very long finger that just went all the way in. And basically reach Katerynivka. And based on Russian mapping, this is even bigger. In terms of Russian mapping, they mapped that the front line now looks like this. This is the front line for the Russian mapping. And this is a massive area that is claimed by the Russian forces, which also includes part of the areas that is confirmed by geolocation as well as Ukrainian mapping. So this sector here, just off Novolubivka and Nevsky, this is a massive advance by the Russian forces, which includes many forests, a lot of tree lines, a lot of farming land, and this combines with the previous Ukrainian mapping and leads to just off the forest in this sector. The geolocation, as we have reported yesterday, also, if you add all of this in, and then the finger, this is one hell of a frontline change. This is a massive frontline change. This is literally a frontline collapse of this sector. So I'm not sure if the Ukrainians are going to be able to form another frontline change, another line of defense. But this is massive. Off Novolubivka, this is 2 kilometers deep. Yeah, this advance is 2 kilometers deep, and that means we have information within 2 days. We went from this forest here all the way to the other forest, which is 5 kilometers away. So this is the sudden collapse of the entire front line. So this is nothing to scoff about. This is very big. So we will definitely continue to monitor the situation. This is really out of nowhere, almost. Usually, we don't expect much frontline change from the Lyman front, but this is a very big frontline change. So we will continue to monitor. And that's all from the Lyman front. The next frontline change after the Lyman front is, let me tick, is over at the Toretsk front. Over at the Toretsk front, at Panteleimonivka, we have frontline change as well. This is part of the New York sector. New York is over here. So this is Panteleimonivka. So based on Russian mapping, based on Ukrainian mapping, the Russian forces have actually advanced into Panteleimonivka and actually on the verge of capturing the entire town. So the Russian forces conquer the rest of the forest, enter into Panteleimonivka, and capture these other forests around here, as well as securing some of the farmlands just off the tree lines. This is also a pretty big advance. The total the advance is around over 1 kilometer. So this is a massive capture, and this also means that anything south of Panteleimonivka is now compromised. The Ukrainians is going to struggle. Like the road up north is 100% is gone. So Russian forces have already taken all of this position. The only way Ukrainian can retreat is through, the other ways. They have to go west before they can go on north. So a pretty significant situation over now developing over in this New York sector of the Toretsk front, and more frontline changes. Over at the Pokrovsk front, over at Kotlyny, we have finally geolocation of Ukrainian forces just off Kotlyny. This confirms the Ukrainian advance and attack over at the Kotlyny region. However, the geolocation cannot reflect the full extent of the Ukrainian claims of their success over in Kotlyny. So we'll continue to monitor the situation. The advance is probably around 0.5 kilometer, but maybe bigger. We cannot tell just by this geolocation. And one last frontline change over at the Zaporizhzhia front. At the Zaporizhzhia front, over at Shcherbaky, there is a very super important geolocation. Russian forces geolocated right inside Shcherbaky. This means that the Russian forces have actually penetrated through the Ukrainian defense, went straight into Shcherbaky, and this is also super significant. The distance traveled is probably around 1.5 kilometer. Massive frontline change. So we are talking about a series of frontline changes over the past 12 hours that is released. The information is released in the past 12 hours, and almost all of them is super significant. Very crazy 12 hours. So anyway, do press the like button, subscribe. We'll continue to monitor. I believe the next update should be the sit rep, probably 8 to 12 hours from now. So thank you for watching. Press the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next update. Oh, not the next update. I forgot to calculate the total area captured. So I end up I have to do some video editing to calculate this in. So the Ukrainians captured 0.45 square kilometers over in the Pokrovsk only at the Kotlyny, and the Russian ones is 2.91 plus 11.91 plus 1.33 plus 2.47. So total area captured in 12 hours is 18.62 square kilometers. This is a lot for 12 hours. So yeah, so that's it, and I'll see you guys in the next update.